Alright everyone, so if you watched my last few videos on Inside Zone, Zone 101, I covered the basics of zone running, zone principles, things like if you're uncovered, covered, double teaming, as well as the inside zone play. For this video, we're going to talk a little bit about outside zone. First thing to know with outside zone is that the blocking assignments are the exact same thing as inside zone. So principle-wise, nothing much has changed. The only thing that's going to change with this play is the technique the linemen are going to use as they run the play. You might have also heard the word stretch or the play stretch. That's what this play is. There's also another term out there or a type of play called wide zone. Some people consider the two, outside zone and wide zone, to be the same play. I personally like to consider them as two different types of play because I think their objective is a bit different. So this one video in particular is outside zone, and I'll do another video on wide zone. So I mentioned the technique is different, but otherwise the blocking assignments are the same. By that, remember, go back to your basic zone principles. If we're following the covered-uncovered rule, again, not everybody uses those rules, but that most do. If I'm uncovered, I'm going to help my lineman to the play side. In that case, that's this guard. He's uncovered, so he's going to help to the play side and help make a double team. If I'm covered, I got to block the guy over me. But remember, I don't have a man. I have a zone, but I have to protect that zone. This guy is over me, which automatically puts him in my zone, so I have to take him. Now, in inside zone, the first step of your offensive lineman is typically going to be about a 45-degree angle play side step, so it might be like this. And the objective is when you engage the defense, you're trying to uproot them, hit them in square in their chest, and drive them backwards off the ball. On outside zone, we're trying to attack the edge or the perimeter. So rather than taking that 45-degree angle step, we're going to take a lateral step, or some teams teach a bucket step, off that line with that play side foot. That allows us to get a good lateral position on the guy in front we're trying to reach to get to that outside shoulder. So when we reach block, we're trying to get to this outside shoulder of the defender here to seal him inside. We're trying to essentially wall this all off for the running back to go around the end. We do this by, one, again, making that lateral or bucket step, and then attack with this left shoulder. So if we're running outside zone right, we're going to attack with this inside shoulder towards the defender with this outside shoulder pointed out going this way. So then we engage with the shoulder and punch. While we engage, we also punch the defender in the shoulder pads with the palm, so kind of like this. And we work our way across that play side shoulder until we get him sealed. So if this tight end steps lateral like this, this defensive end might read that and try to come out with him. So it's the tight end's job to get that outside edge and seal him. Same thing with this tackle. He'll step. Let's say this lineman steps with him. He will try and reach that outside shoulder and seal it inside. Now, this uncovered guard will typically come to help double team. So he'll come engage, he'll hit the inside of this defender. And if this defender gets so far wide that he simply can't engage him, then he just continues on to the next level. All right? Typically, if you're going straight to the second level, on an outside zone, the track is about a 45-degree angle, or whatever angle is going to allow you to beat that player to that linebacker to the point of attack. So he's scraping here, and we got to reach him here. And we just continue working down the line. Now let's say, rather than slanting hard, this nose guard engages the center straight on. That center steps lateral, this nose guard collides, and the center's got to hook that outside shoulder. This uncovered guard's going to take his lateral step and help double team with him. They'll key the linebacker, and if the linebacker flows hard this way, this guard will work his way across the nose guard's body and overtake him while the center moves on up to the backer. If this defensive end slants, again, we take our lateral step and we're going to block whatever's there. So if this defensive end crashes inside, we're going to block him. Or if he goes this way, towards the outside, we're going to continue downfield on that track. We probably won't get this backer, but we can go downfield and get this safety or if this backer comes across. So if this backer's not blitzing and reads run, he might kind of do this little action. We can go get that. So the receivers, again, you can do what you want with them. You can block the safeties, you can block the corners, you can run off on routes, especially on the backside. Joe Gibbs, who's kind of one of the godfathers of zone running in football, his rule always was don't block corners because they can't tackle, safeties can. That was kind of his rule, so he always had his receivers block safeties on every play. They never blocked cornerbacks. But you can also stalk. Where I last played, or where I last coached, we stalk the corners. So it's really up to you, or the team that's playing. With the H-back, again, you could do a number of things with them. You can have him go backside like he does on inside zone to be a decoy or help protect the chase down from behind. Where I last coached, we taught him to lead block around the end. So what he will do is he's going to attack the butt of the tight end. If you have an H-back in the game or a fullback, he attacks the butt of the tight end and will key that tight end's block. If he thinks that tight end can get the seal, we'll go around the end and lead block up on that safety. The tailback's role, if you're under center, is almost the exact same thing. All right, so I just take a slight play side step and then attack the butt of that tight end. Some teams this is where there's a lot of variation in outside zone. Some teams tell this back to attack the butt of the tackle. Some tell them to attack the C-gap. Some tell them to attack the butt of the tight end, the inside of the tight end, the outside of the tight end. So it varies a lot between teams and what they want to do. But if you're running, in my opinion, a true outside zone, and you're dead set on getting this edge, you want to attack the butt of the tight end. So he's going to come down and attack the butt of that tight end and follow the fullback. All right, and again, king that tight end's block. If the tight end can get the seal, we bounce it outside. And then, let's say for whatever reason, the H-back goes outside and it's a wrong read, or the tight end cannot get the edge. So let's say this guy is really storming hard upfield and just blowing up that tight end. We cut it up. We just cut it inside the block. So while it's important that tight end can get him hooked, if that defensive end beats him upfield, it's not the end of the world. We turn him out and we'll just cut up inside. A lot of outside zone, especially the collegiate level, will turn up inside. If you look at those GIFs there, most of the time it does because defensive ends get so elite at that level. Let's see. So that's basically the outside zone from under center. Oh, the quarterback. So outside zone on quarterback, he'll open at about it's called a 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock step. So just like a clock, how there's different hands on a point, so something like that. On outside zone, you'll open up at 4 o'clock if you're going to the right. And you just get it back to the tight end, break depth, and almost always teams have their quarterback boot away from the play. This sets up the naked boot, if you've ever heard that term, or a naked pass, or a naked keep. That happened because what they'll do is as they're running this, they're waiting to see if one of these guys will chase down the play from behind. If one of these two defenders is chasing down outside zone from behind, that's an extreme overcommitment by these players. That means they are not being disciplined on the backside. So if they see that, when they chase down the play, they'll just tell the quarterback, hey, keep the ball and boot. Or they'll run a naked boot pass off of it. Naked means nobody is pulling. So it just looks like a pure outside zone going the other way. I'm going to set up the next diagram. Take a look at those GIFs there. You'll see one from under center by Iowa, and I think the other one it's a Pac-12 school, I can tell you that much. But they're running outside zone from the shotgun. And I'm going to show you the shotgun example next. The diagram I just showed you is pretty much what Iowa's running down there, except your H-back is winged down out on the edge there. So watch that one. Watch the progression of the wingback here. He hits, works his way out. That's exactly how zone running works. The tight end and the wingback are going to combo with that defensive end, and then when that defensive back or linebacker comes up, he comes off. Yeah, that's the corner there. That's exactly how outside zone should look. Now from the shotgun, it can be a bit different because a lot of teams, especially like Oregon, they like to run it without a tight end. So they don't get that extra blocker on the edge. Let's say we're running against like a 4-2 here. All right, so again, follow the same techniques. We're going to take our lateral step, lateral step, lateral step, lateral step, lateral step. All right, we're going to double team. Double team where we can, reach our guys. Seal the edge, seal the edge. Only 5 blockers here, 6 defenders. I mentioned in other videos, if you're outnumbered by 1 and you have the ability to do so, turn it into a zone read. So again, we'll seal. So now let's say, you'll see this a lot with shotgun. So let's say this defense flows hard out here. So these guys are going to fly hard upfield and to the outside. So he's going to try and reach this guy, but he can't beat him, and he's getting turned out like this. All right, we're going to, again, step here because he's covered, double team, key that back when he flows out. I got to come pick him up. And same thing, we're going to get here, double team, work our way up. Now watch the GIF there of the shotgun one below the whiteboard. It's supposed to go outside, and the running back takes it straight up the middle. Some teams will teach that in outside zone. So while they're trying to hit the end, all right, ideally if they get the seal, they're going to go around like this. But when you have shotgun, you have a really good cutback ability right away. I know at Oregon in particular, when they taught it, the moment you get that ball, if you feel you cannot get the outside, plant that foot and take it straight up field. So that's a nice way to burn defenses by using the shotgun. Another thing that's different with the outside zone and the shotgun is you kind of lose that downhill aiming point like it did under center. Me in particular, I'm a bigger fan of outside zone under center because you have that downhill track. It's kind of hard to come across the quarterback and then turn downfield. So really, when you run outside zone from a shotgun, especially if you don't have a tight end, most teams run it. It's either we get the end, it's either all or nothing, and we just pipe it straight up field. All right. So that's outside zone for you. Let's see. We'll do one more example just to kind of get familiar with it. We'll run it under center without an H-back. All right, and then let's do something complicated. 5-3. All right, follow the same rules. Now we're under center. We have 7 blockers to 8 defenders. We're not going to be able to block someone. Let's go outside zone left. We're not going to be able to block this guy. That's fine. We'll key him to see if we can run the boot pass off him. So if we're running outside zone, let's say we're going to go in here. Let's say defense is going to run a pinch with this nose guard going strong. Everyone takes their lateral step. And then we engage and reach. All right? So again, we'll double team with this guy. But if he goes so far inside, well, typically when he goes inside, that typically tells the offense that somebody's coming over. So we'll engage. We'll give him a good chip. We'll give him a good chip or a hard hit to kind of pass him on to this tackle as he comes over. And then we'll go seal. All right? Now see the dilemma here with this. This tackle's gone to help out here. So now there's some issues going on here. We only have 4 blockers, and with the pinch here, and if he's quick enough, the offense is outnumbered. Running backs have got to be smart here. So while he's keying he's attacking this tight end, the butt of this tight end downfield. If he sees that outnumber defense, he's got 2 choices. He's either got to trust his wheels and bust it out here before he gets there, or pipe it up, which is kind of where, if you see this happening, the wide zone will come into play. I'll do another video for that one. All right, but typically, this guy's coming over and trying to get that. But you can see it's a very difficult block to make. So, but again, the goal is to get it out there. If you have only one high safety, typically your receivers will block the corners. They're more of a threat than that safety is. All right, and again, open, this time at 8 o'clock, get deep, and boot out. All right, now, one thing I'm going to show you quickly before I go is the track outside zone blocking method. This is what we ran where I coached. I really like it for outside zone. I think it's a lot simpler for high school kids. Put a wing tight end in there. So if we're going to run outside zone right, when we don't have, or when we're running a track path, that means we're not using any double teams. We're just simply, we bucket step, we top bucket step, and then run on a 45-degree angle track. All right? And whatever is there, we block. So it all depends on what these guys do. Typically, he'll come here, he'll fight off out here. All right, and you kind of see how this sets up. All right, he'll go here, he'll take him, boom, boom. All right, he'll flow over top here. He'll pick up the nose guard, and so on. All right, so that's the track method. No double teams, make your step and run on your track. All right, so that's outside zone. Hope you enjoyed.